right, hi you guys. I actually just recorded my how I manifested my apartment video, and it is like 50 something minutes long. And I'm just coming back to make a more summarized version of that. For those who don't mind and you like details, I would recommend you watching that. For others of you, I'm gonna just hop straight to the point. You're not gonna see that much of my personality, but that's just because I want to make sure that this is a short enough video where I still give you, everything that I hopefully gave in the longer video. So here we go. Give me a moment. So the first thing that I needed to do was I stated that I needed and wanted my own apartment as a goal of becoming more self-sufficient and as a desire to create a sanctuary for myself to continue in my own spiritual growth and practices. So that's number one. Okay. Um, Number two, the way I have it on my list is that I tested the spirit. So for me, what testing the spirit means is putting into application the spiritual messages and the spiritual knowledge that not only had I researched or that spirit had allowed me to hear as a seed that was planted into me, putting that into application. So actually taking action. Okay. That's how you test the spirit. The next thing was that I remembered that I had already manifested something before. So this is kind of basically what helped me to go ahead and attempt this manifestation because I had already successfully manifested my car. Okay. So if you guys would like to see a video on that, let me know in the comment section and I will do that. Okay. Anyway, like a month or two prior, it's a car that I did already own, but because I had recently moved from out of state back into state, Houston is my hometown. I was living in Cincinnati, Ohio for about 2 years. I was gonna have to basically come up with money to get my car shipped down here. And I really didn't know how I was going to do that. I wasn't working a job. This was pretty much a sudden and abrupt up and movement. So, and it was kind of like in regards to a relationship, a breakup, an ending. So it wasn't just, it was kind of had to just go type stuff. So it was fast and sudden. So I didn't know. I was discombobulated, confusion, all that. I was in a conniption. So I didn't know how I was going to get no money. And I wasn't working and had not been working for months before then. So yeah, I was just trying to figure out how I was going to get some money to get my car down here. So with that being said, that did successfully happen. And I have a video coming about that. Moving on. Since that has successfully happened and I saw it with my own eyes, I got to experience it. My car literally being in my sister's driveway at the time was literally proof of power of my own mind, right? And proof of how spirit will work through myself and others to get to us what you ask. I was sold. And I was like, oh my God. Okay. And so the next thing on my list to manifest was my own space. Because at this time I'm living with family. And I love that, but at the same time, it's like I can't do this. There were limitations and restrictions for me, when it comes to my spiritual practices. So that wasn't going to work for me. And plus, I just sincerely wanted to remember this is about self-sufficiency. Okay. So I knew I needed to be on my own. So this is why we started to manifest that. The next thing was I had already tried manifesting my car, which I just told y'all that. So because that succeeded, I went on to the next thing. And so I needed to get clear about my what and my why. I did that. The how I learned is best left up to spirit. So all I mean by that is you don't have to be so detailed with spirit that you limit how they manifest something, how they help you to get what it is that you desire, right? And you don't even have to worry yourself either. So you don't want to be on either end of the spectrum. You don't want to be too detailed and too trying to control how it happens to where it doesn't happen at all, or you are upset and ungrateful when it does manifest for you because it didn't happen the way you wanted it to. And you don't want to be on the other end of the spectrum where you are doubtful or you are, you are literally a vessel for worry because you have no idea how it's going to happen. You don't want to be on any one of those. You want to be even killed. You want to know what you want and why, and you want to trust that spirit is going to make a way for you to get it. Moving on. The next thing I had to do was focus. And the way that I expressed and wanted to say focus is this became a topic of discussion for me all the time. I somehow managed to put this into every conversation that I was having. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, I was talking about it all the time. Okay. And I'm going to say how. So I incorporated it into my conversation. So I'm encouraging you guys, incorporate this that you want into your conversation somehow. Because words are powerful. Yeah. They come from our thoughts. Thoughts are powerful. This is how we manifest, right? So I spoke it into my conversation. So here's an example. Um, I kept I kept things during my move from Ohio with the thought of this is going to go into my apartment. So it's just like you're thinking about it. You have this in mind. Even though you may not have it yet, you are considering that this is what you want. So the actions that you take or don't take are all in alignment with what it is you say you want. This could be for anything, right? A man, a woman, a relationship, children, a job, of course, material things. So yeah, the next thing, another way that I feel like I did it. Now this is a little petty, and I would even say to me that it was even in some cases it was my shadow side, but all of it was working together. So, so what happened was I said, what did I say? I said, even when my sister and I would have our sisterly arguments or spats, I would transmute the energy, and I would say, see, this is why I need to have my own space. Sometimes I was literally joking and I was playing, and it was real. Like, don't get me wrong, I meant it, but it wasn't like anything like because I was hurt or mad. In other cases, I was hurt, I was mad, and I was like, see, that right there, that's the reason why I need my own space. That's why I'm gonna get my own apartment. I'm getting my own apartment, okay? And my sister was still laughing my ass, but the point was, I was incorporating it into my conversation and I was calling it forth both in more joyful and happier, playful times and in some more, not so pleasant and petty times. It all worked together for the good, Romans 8 and 28. Moving on. The next thing I had to do was also visualize my success, which I had to see myself get in my apartment. And baby, my imagination is bomb. When I tell you I am the imagination station, I am the queen of storytelling. I was the one in my family that was always coming up with some shit in the house. So I used that gift to manifest what I wanted. I played make believe, and it ain't nothing wrong with it. It's not fake. This is where you manifest and draw from. As children, that's how come I feel like we are such powerful manifestors, especially kids who are very imaginative. Okay? Um, yeah. Yeah. I thought about it all the time. Every time I was taking a spiritual bath somewhere, or even when I was doing my readings, it was in my mind. I called it forth every time I took a bath because water is powerful. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It surrounds us. Moving on. Let me stop playing. Okay. The next thing I did was I also felt the feelings, So for some of my examples here, I have that I had the feeling of paying my rent the first time. I literally, I dreamt that up for myself. I visualized that for myself. How do I feel like? What do I think I would feel like paying my first bill? And I felt that shit. I surely did. I laughed. I giggled. I might have fake cried. I did whatever the fuck I felt like I needed to do in that moment to express those feelings. In other ways, what else did I say? I thought about how I feel when it's time to clean up. And I thought about this even, y'all, I did the negative and the positives. So I felt like what it would feel like to be like, oh, being short on rent or being short on a light bill. I did both sides. I didn't just want to only focus on the good because it gets real out here. Sometimes you might be a little late. Sometimes you may make a little stupid ass decision, that you like, damn, that fucked me up or it set me back a little bit. All right, it's cool. I'm going to have to, and you have to figure it out. But I did both sides of the spectrum is all I'm trying to say. So, yeah. So when it came to clean it up, I thought about how I would feel once my space is in the way that I want it to be, looking and smelling how I wanted to. And then I also thought about them days that I'm not going to even feel like touching it. And then I laughed at that, laughed at the idea of that, transmuted that energy, but like, it's cool. It's going to be my space. Move on. The next thing I did was I had to be able to discern and recognize the opportunities for me to get what I wanted. So in this instance about my apartment, okay, I wasn't working a job at the time. And I had been applying like I normally do and still wasn't getting no jobs. But then COVID hit anyway. So COVID hit and I was like, oh, my spirit already knew what that was about. Spirit was like, oh, this is perfect. Perfect. This is this was a very spiritual thing that happened. It's always spiritual. I'm gonna go out on a tangent. It's always spiritual. Anything that's manifesting in the physical is always spiritual first, period, point blank. But this is spiritual, and this is a good thing. This is a blessing for a lot of us who had already been doing the spiritual work, who had already put spirit before physical. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking nobody who puts physical before spirit. We all come in on our own lessons, we all have our strong suits. Okay. Mine was that of the non-seen. That's my strength. That's my strong suit. As well as, I can do real too. I just had not been doing real. And so now was my time to do real, if that makes sense. Now is my time to start pulling down from my spiritual sight what I really wanted to have in the physical. And now it's time for me to maintain that physical um, lifestyle because I've dreamt it up. Now it's time for me to actually carry it out, right? So anyway, and for others who have been in the physical realm and you've already carried out a certain lifestyle that was based on your thoughts, now it's time for you to go and delve even deeper into the spiritual. That's what was going on with COVID-19 and what is still going on. Moving on. Whew. I'm trying to talk fast, y'all, and get all this out. So when COVID-19 hit, all of these, things they was doing, trying to pacify us, like with uh, the um the money that kept coming, my refund I used to get work done on my car that needed to be done so that she can be able to keep on running another further because I knew that I wanted to get an apartment. Got that taken care of. The rest of my money also went towards um some other things. I can't even remember, but getting things for my apartment still, right? Sharing with my people who were already allowing me to live with them, doing that, greasing their palms. You gotta pay back. And I wasn't always the best person about that. So I'm learning, right? I did that, got that out of the way real fast and was happy to do it. Okay, happy to do this, yes. And then when all that money was gone into investments that I felt were worth my time and worth that money and effort, then guess what? I was still believing that the Most High was going to help me to manifest this apartment, that my ancestors and my spirit guides and my angels were going to help me. Another opportunity was presented my way that came by way of COVID. Okay. And it was a $5,000 opportunity. So I took that. Yes, I did. Yes. Yes, I did. So I got $5,000. Am I saying this right? Yes. I got $5,000. Actually, I think I got 6,000. I got $6,000, but I blessed my sister with 1,000 of that. Hmm. Hmm. Yes. Bless my sister with 1,000 of that for blessing me, for giving me a place to live. I don't think I gave her the full 1,000. I need to say that differently. I took 1,000 of that money and I gave my sister. No, I did. I think I gave Claudia $1,000. I'll have to ask her. But long story short, 1,000 of that money went to someone else besides me, and that's what left me with 5,000. But that 5,000 was more than enough. I got my apartment with the $5,000, and I was able to get certain things from my apartment with the 1,000 that Spirit had led me to do. But after that was gone, this 5,000 covered everything that I have in this apartment now, and then some. I paid my rent. I paid my rent up. And I always knew that I was going to continue to do readings. That's how I get money as well. And I knew that I wanted a work from home position. And I had been constantly applying, but I still didn't get nothing yet. This opportunity still that I needed to recognize came through my sister. One of my other sisters, not Claudia, but my sister Janelle. Okay. Janelle had applied for a position. She got it. She got the call. They asked if there was anyone else that was interested that she knew. Janelle come calling me. Mind you, this was right after I made up in my heart and mind that I needed to get a job. Hope we're following. First things first, the mind, the heart, the center, the epicenter of every decision that we make or don't make. So once I knew, oh, I got to get a job. Lord knows I would love to be a spiritpreneur where my sales are banging off of all the things that I'm doing. All of my efforts of selling crystals, selling my offering my services, selling my services, yeah. Natal chart readings and all these readings. I would love for it to be like that. I want to give, I want to speak. I want to have retreats and shit. All of that's coming. But as of now, you know, I've got a beautiful space to maintain. I've got a sanctuary to maintain. And right now, I don't have enough clout. I don't have enough people who know about me yet. I don't have enough people who are willing to or who have the funds to pay for my readings. I don't have that yet. So, but I'm manifesting that still. But in the meantime, in between time, your girl will be working from home. So I got that job. Thank God. Okay. And you know what? If anything was to fall through, I would have to trust that the Most High is going to come through. Because Spirit has been coming through consistently, y'all. So with that being said, that's pretty much the gist. I took all of that money and put it into this space. I followed my intuition all the way with this. I love this. I love this place because it has everything that I was asking for. I've got a lot of nature surrounding me. I needed that. I've got my garden tub because I love having my candles lit when I'm having my spiritual bath. I needed some space. I'm a thick chick, okay? Um, I have a meditation space, like a dedicated room. It's a sunroom, and you can make that obviously into anything you would have wanted it to be, but for me, it's my meditation room. And also, it doubles as a creative space. But the point is, I got everything. Mind you, remember, another thing I wanted to say if I didn't already say this, that was just, recognizing and discerning um, your opportunities. The next thing that you also need to do is take action when the way the spirit tells you to. So the way that I was led to use my money, first of all, before that, I started looking up apartments before I even knew I was going to get any money. Before the $5,000 opportunity even presented itself, I was looking up apartments where I wanted to live, and I had to get clear about what side of town I wanted to live on and why. My why was I wanted to be closer to I wanted to be far away from my people so that I wouldn't be able to just run to their house all the time, because remember, this is about self-sufficiency, right? So I was far out. I also I got the idea and the creative inspiration that I wanted to be on the north side of town, and there happened to be a place that was close to the cemetery that my father's body is buried in. So that's the apartment complex that I chose and set my sights on. When I saw the name of the apartment, that made me fall in love with it too. It's called Trails. That's the first thing that caught my attention. Ooh, maybe there's going to be trees. I'm serious. That's how I'm thinking. Trees. And places surrounded by nature. I wanted that. I needed that. I knew that. Okay. Next, the name is Trails at Dominion Park. I'm a Leo woman. I'm a queen. I want dominion over my kingdom. Yeah, my queendom. So the word dominion got me, and it is two. The number two is associated. It's 200 Dominion Park Drive. What? I live on Dominion because I'm because I'm a queen. That's why. So, anyways, y'all, I'm just playing. I mean, I'm very serious, but I'm saying this is how my mind was really working. Baby, intuition and synchronicity is all over the place for me for this spot. When I actually finally saw it, first, it was the only place that I could really come to instead of just doing a virtual tour. Came, saw it. I saw the virtual tour and I came to see it. The first place that I saw was nothing like the apartment that I'm actually in, and I was willing and grateful to be in that space. But guess what happens? Now, this is going to lead me to my next point. Expect obstacles. Okay? Expect obstacles, but choose to keep your focus on what Spirit said you're going to get or what it is that you're trying to manifest. How did I say that? Expect obstacles and your victory over them. Yeah, that's what I had to do. And that's not easy. It's not easy, but I had to do it. And Spirit was working with me and literally coaching me the entire time through my friends, through my family, through intuition and our inner conversation and inner dialogue. The obstacle that came up. First one with this situation, the apartment that I looked at was first free. By the time I contacted them again, it was sold. I was a little bummed, but I was like, okay, it's cool. That's fine. That's fine. When I tried back a little bit later after all of my paperwork had cleared, which that was another obstacle, I got a phone call one day and they was like, and the lady was like, where'd you say you worked again? And da da da. She started asking me all these questions, almost like she didn't believe me or like, ooh, 2 on the clock. Like she didn't believe me and shit like that. So, long story short, her fear and her kind of not understanding how work from home or independent contractors, you know, how you really can't verify that type of work except for if you have the letter of offer and all that kind of stuff, which I did have sent in for myself. Basically, the lady wasn't sure that all the stuff that I had sent in was going to suffice for her boss. So technically, she was a little concerned. She was afraid. And I also feel like she kind of didn't believe me. She was concerned for me as well. Like, is this legit? So long story short, her fear when she called me wound up rubbing off on me. And I'm just like, oh my God, what if I don't get the apartment because they don't believe that I work from home or they can't verify my paycheck, my stubs and shit like that? What if it doesn't go through? Baby, Spirit had to nip that in the bud very quickly, but it wasn't, it really did take a process. I had to realize that she was afraid because she didn't know about the company that I was working for or really how work from home positions work and independent contractors work, period. She didn't think it was legitimate, but it is. Oh, because I know that it is legitimate. Oh, okay, God. Okay, so this is an obstacle. This is a distraction. I didn't have nothing to worry about. Oh, okay, we're good here. I got this. This is in the bag. I spoke that again. And the next day, I tried back and I called again later because she had told me she was going to say something before then, but I had to call them. I called them, which my mama had to give me another word about patience. Stop being anxious. Be cap. Don't worry about all that. Just you did what you can do. Leave the rest. That was true. However, I had already called anyways, and what I found out, I called earlier that day, and then I waited for a few hours, and I called around 3 p.m. on Thursday. 3 p.m. on Wednesday or Tuesday, one of them days. By 3 p.m., I was informed that all of my shit went through, no problems, and everything was a go. But I had to come and look at another apartment because the last one had been taken. So they come and they let me see the other available model that they were telling me about in place of the other one, which was going to be a little higher, but it was bigger. So I come and look at the space, y'all, and it was mine. And I knew it and I felt it. And my sister, Claudia, was with me, and Claudia was like, "This is you, sister. This is you." And I was like, "I know, Claudia, I know." And I got my apartment. I put my money down. We did everything we needed to do. Go get the, money orders. We did everything we needed to do. And I got my apartment and I was able to move in by Thursday. So I want to say, that was a Tuesday that I first called and found out that my stuff finally had went through. So with that being said, I had to wait 2 days, but baby girl, and it seemed like it was the longest 2 days of my life. But yeah, I moved in on a Thursday in July. That is the story of how your girl manifested her apartment. I hope and pray it helps you guys. If you'd like to see any more content and videos, please let me know. You guys, I would recommend those who like details and stories, go look at the other one. I'm going to post both versions, okay? Because there are a lot of things that I did not get a chance to say. Spirit was flowing in the other one as well. So there might be some gems in there. Only those who want to go watch it. It's $50. Thank you, Spirit, for $50. But anyway, it is like 50 something minutes long. So it's no pressure. But it's gems over there. All right. I love y'all with the love of the most high, peace, love, light, and darkness, working to bring balance and harmony within ourselves and within another. I'm done. I'm tired. It's over. But thank you guys. All right. Bye.